Welcome to Pokemon FireRed. I'm just gonna be honest, I don't have time for intros. See, the awkward thing is I always like to show the, like the title screen and the intro crawl. The problem is, by the way, buttons do things in this game, in case you didn't learn that from every other game we play on the channel. Yeah, the awkward thing is like, there's no mystery, right? Because we all saw it in the title. We all saw it was Pokemon FireRed. I'm not gonna title this like the mystery let's play, what's next? Like, no, this is the thumbnail right here. It's Professor Oak with his little female Nidoran. Respectable. So I guess now that we're playing Pokemon, well, first off, let's tell him a little bit about ourselves. I am in fact a man, so I'm neither of these. But for the purposes of disassociating, I'm going to pick the girl option. Let's begin with my name. Well, I'm not going to put my real name in, but I will put in my fake name, which is, there's the V. So fun fact about myself, while I won't give my real name on this channel, if I was born a girl rather, my mom always said she'd name me Victoria. I now realize that there is no A option. This might be a problem. Give me a second. Alright, we've workshopped a Valerie name. We're off to a good start this Let's Play with me just not clearly being prepared at all. My name is Valerie. It's not, but for the purposes of the game it is. And then there's this dude. Listen, I'll be boring, okay? His name is not Green or Gary. His name is in fact Blue. I'll give him the boring canon name. I'm not gonna name him like Fart Muncher or whatever. So what are they talking about? Right, Pokemon. Listen, we're going through the intro right now, so now's a really good time to explain something. So I've played Pokemon for a very long time. I've played it a lot. So I probably haven't completed this game in like probably close to a decade. By the way, a neat little gamer fact, you go over to the PC, you get a potion. Back when they had items stored in the PC. Item storage, withdraw, give me my potion please. Also, just gonna mess with the settings real quick, hope you guys don't mind, because man, this text speed is killing me. Okay, text speed fast, battle scene ons, battle style set. Sound stereo, and frame, let's go type 10 because it's kind of pinky purple. So anyways, I'll explain what a bunch of things do later, but it's kind of leading good into my point where I'm like, listen, there's a lot to know about Pokemon, and I know a lot of it. Listen, I know the EVs, the IVs, the Natures, I know the Pokerus, I know all this stuff. For the purposes of this Let's Play, I'm not going to be explaining like any of that. I'll explain Natures because they're relatively simple and kind of important. EVs, IVs, encounter rates, what team comps are like. No, I'm not doing that. I have a team in my head of 6 Pokemon that I want to catch and I want to use as my team. That's what I always do when I play these games. I think of 6 Pokemon and I'm like, these are neat. You know, relatively diverse. Are these the 6 best Pokemon in the game? No, absolutely not. They're just 6 Pokemon that I looked at and was like, these seem kind of neat to play with. And so that's what I'm doing. Listen, it's the age-old choice. Bulbasaur. The childhood classic. I picked this Pokemon almost every single time when I was a child. We got Squirtle. He's a water turtle. I picked him a few times. Squirtle's a good poke. And then we have the devil himself, Charmander. You should raise it patiently. Well, I'm a patient person, so we are going to claim the fire Pokemon Charmander. There was no fanfare with that. I knew I was picking Charmander going in. I will give a nickname. This is a male Charmander. So we are going to name him the way that I name my Pokemon, because I always nickname the Pokemon I use to make me a little more attached to them. I like to give them human names, but just like, you know, alliteration I think is nice. So anyways, that's Charlie the Charmander. Blue has received the Squirtle. He always picks the one that's strong against yours. Grass beats water, water beats fire, fire beats grass. Okay, first battle incoming. I played through this game up to the first gym recently just to make sure it was like everything was going to go well. I lost this battle. I lost this battle because he scored like 2 critical hits, so I'm like actually pretty afraid right now. But I got the bonus potion from the PC, so you know, we're feeling good. Anyways, if you don't know what Pokemon is, why are you watching this video? How do you not know what like the most popular video game franchise of all time is when you're watching this? So a good way to win this first battle is just by like hitting the opponent in the face. It's actually a really good way to win most battles in this game. What was I talking about? Right, so let's get back on track here. I know about EVs, I know about IVs. I'm not calling out anyone in particular. I'm just saying, if you're going to type a comment, that's really, really good. Wow. So a critical hit is a 1 in 16 chance to do double damage and also ignore any negative stat modifiers. That's why my first couple hits did a quarter health and my last one did half. So I'm going to explain things as they kind of come up because I think it's important to explain things that matter, like critical hits, for example. If you're going to make a comment, rather if you're planning on making a comment that starts along the lines of, oh, I don't know, hey, in case you didn't know this, or hey, I thought you might need to know this. I'm not saying this with any ill intent because I kind of hate it when YouTubers do this. I'm just saying please don't, because well, no, there's really only one reason. If you talk to this guy, you get a potion. More potions on the potion train. The main reason is that I probably already know. It is like really... You'd have to have some really, really obscure knowledge of like the game's code to tell me something about this that I don't know. Unless it's something specific, like, hey, did you know this trainer uses this moveset? In which case, I don't care. Look, it's a level 4 Rattata. It's actually, like, pretty strong. I thought about killing it for experience. I'll pass that for now. So if you're going to leave a comment saying, hey, did you know this? The answer is probably yes. So I'm just telling you this so that way you don't waste your time later. I probably do know. I am aware that the Pokemon I'm going to use on my team, which, by the way, we're going to be catching quite a few in these first couple episodes. I have it all mapped out in my head. If you're going to look at the Pokemon for my team and be like, this is not optimal, don't worry, I know. Again, I just like to use Pokemon that I like. I like to use ones that I've never used before in playthroughs, because I've played through this game a lot. My childhood strategy was pick Bulbasaur. Basically just use Bulbasaur for the entire game until you can catch Zapdos, the legendary bird, and then I would just use him for the rest of the game. That's fun. We're not using that. I'm not using legendaries on my team. I'm not using anything crazy. I'm just kind of having fun. I looked up where the Pokemon are. I looked up what kind of moves they learn, just to make sure they're not terrible. I looked up their base stat total to make sure it's not awful. It's all very exciting stuff. Anyways, speaking of natures, by the way, let's go to our Pokemon real quick and check out Charlie. He's level 6. Okay, let's see. He belongs to me. He has an adamant nature. That is actually the one nature that I know what it is, and I can tell you right now, it's bad. So again, what natures do? I should explain this. There are 36 natures in the game, because there are a bunch of stats. There's HP, attack, defense, special defense, and speed. What a nature determines is what stat will grow 10% more and what stat will grow 10% less. 6 of the natures in the game are neutral, because it'll say, like, increase at HP, but then also decrease HP, so it ends up canceling out, rather. Adamant is the one that I know. That is plus attack and minus special attack. I can tell you right now, that is probably one of the worst natures to have on a Charmander, because Charmander is a very fast special attacker. We also have to deal with the whole physical special split in this game, or rather the lack thereof. If you're not aware, the way that a move is determined if it's physical or special is not down to the move, it's down to the type of the move. An easy way to remember this, which I learned because someone told me, is if you're in the know about Pokemon, like let's say you know a lot about Pokemon, if you know all the evolutions, there's a Pokemon called Eevee. We're getting the town map from Daisy, not that it really matters. There's a Pokemon called Eevee, it evolves into like a million different forms. All the types it evolves into, plus Dragon, those are all the special types. So if you don't know what that means, that's fine, it doesn't actually matter at all. But we're just going on our big Pokemon adventure here with Charlie the Charmander. Not a great nature, but again, he's still a Charmander. I'm not gonna like... It would have to be like... I would have to be using a Pokemon that's already not very good, and then get like literally the worst nature ever, for me to even consider like throwing it out and getting another one. It's another level 4 Rattata. We'll take this one out. So you know what, I just realized, because I have Adamant, so Scratch is a normal type move, and normal is a physical move, or normal is a physical type rather. That's probably why I had an easier time killing the rival Squirtle. It's probably not supposed to do a quarter health, but anyways. Just mopping the floor with these wild rats. Level 7. I think I learned Ember at this point. Yeah, I'm smart. I know what I'm doing. So Ember is a fire type move. Stab is same type attack bonus if you use a move that's the same type as your Pokemon, in this case fire. It does 50% more damage. And now that I just remembered, I'm going to reorganize my moves real quick, because I would like to just be able to open a battle and put Ember at the top. There we go. A little awkward menuing this game, but we figured it out. So anyways, I feel like I've been talking a long time for just about basically nothing. Hang on, you thought the potion quest was done, didn't you? But if we go over here, there is in fact another potion. So, you know what, how are you guys doing? It's a new series. Again, there's not much fanfare, I don't know, it kind of just feels like I'm recording another series. It is what it is. I like to think I've improved my craft somewhat, but, you know, we'll see. I'm not sure how edited this series is going to be. I'm not sure how crazy, funny, wacky things are going to happen. This guy's about to teach us how to catch Pokemon. Notably, he has a beard and no head hair. Excuse me, I just burped. Classic Crispy Salsa series where he burps everywhere. But with the magic of Pokemon battling, he now has head hair and no beard. I really respect this guy. This is probably my favorite catching tutorial in any Pokemon game, because he just doesn't even lower the Weedle's health. He just rips the ball right into its mouth and just nails it on the first try. Like, honestly, this guy's kind of a god. The old man used Pokeball. So yeah, you catch Pokemon and add them to your squad. I will be doing this 5 times to catch Pokemon I want to use. And we'll be getting one very shortly, actually. You might recognize him. Try and guess who he is. He's a very familiar face in the Pokemon community. That was very educational. I learned a lot. Thanks for the entire TV. I guess the modern cell phone is basically just a TV now, isn't it? So it's not that big of a deal. We're on Route 2. Ooh, why did I say it like that? Oh my. Yeah, Yeah, we're just kind of here, hanging out. There's really not much here. It's literally just this, and then... I knew I wasn't going to get an encounter. And now we go into Viridian Forest. But yeah, like, here's the thing. I could have done, like, the big edits, like Sugar Conroy, right? And I respect him a lot for doing very, very informative things, like having movesets and doing all these Pokemon bios and the encounter rates for a specific area. The thing is that I just don't care. Really is what it comes down to. I have a really good memory. I remember encounter rates and I remember specific, like, things about Pokemon. My issue is that I just kind of wish I didn't. I'm just kind of adventuring around here. I wish I didn't. Oh, I'm gonna kill this for experience. Because, like, it's fun to kind of not know, in my opinion. I have a good time in a game when I'm like, hey, I don't know what's about to happen next, and this is all, like, surprising. A burn does damage at the end of your turn. It also cuts your attack in half, so that's interesting. Gonna be seeing a lot of that because we got Ember, 10% chance to burn. I like to not know, and it's a shame having a good memory because I'm kind of forced to know things a lot. I think the most obvious example is the video game Return of the Obra Dinn, made by the same guy who made Papers, Please, Lucas Post, I think his name is. Lucas Post. It's a great game. It's really, really good. The problem is that when you have a good memory like me, you can't really replay it that often because it's like, oh, I just know the mystery. I remember how this guy died. I remember who killed this guy. So it's unfortunate. And it's kind of the same with this game. It's like, I don't really want to know encounter rates. I want it to be a surprise. I'll kill this to get level 8. Why not? I don't want to know encounter rates. I don't want to know the exact ways Pokemon evolve. I want it to be a mystery, but it just isn't anymore. Like, the modern Pokemon games just aren't that fun, so that's my opinion. Anyways, we're really just starting things off with a real humdinger. I can tell you right now, the Pokemon I'm looking for has a 5% encounter rate, so this honestly might take a while. Yeah, it's a level 3 Caterpie. I'm just gonna cut to when I find it, because I'll just be doing this for the next however many minutes. Hey, there he is, it's the boy! It's Pikachu! We all know Pikachu, right? You guys know Pikachu. I'm gonna use Scratch, because I don't want to murder him. I knew that was gonna happen, so I got Staticked. I'll explain that later. He has Thundershock, that's good. But I do in fact want to add a Pikachu to the squad. He's recognizable. He's got that big winning smile. He's electric type. Very cute. Level 5 too. Good level. Hopefully we can catch him, because man, I would indeed like a Pikachu. There he is. And now we have to go back and heal because I'm paralyzed. So paralyzed just means that you have, I think your speed gets cut in half and you have a 1 in 3 chance to basically just like skip your turn. Pikachu. Female. I want to have an R name. But why does he want an R name? You'll see later. He said alliterative, but he named the Pikachu an R name. Let's name you Rachel. I like the name Rachel. Any Rachels in the audience? This one's for you. I named him specifically for you. Okay, let's head back to the Pokemon Center and heal up then. Alright, we're back in Viridian Forest. We're all healed up. We got Rachel nice and healed. We healed that nasty paralysis off of Charlie. And so now we're gonna try and make Rachel fight to give her experience. Well, let's take a look at her real quick. I'm probably, unless she has Adamant, is bold. I don't know what that nature is. I'll put it on screen. And I'll also put my feelings on whether or not it's good. So static. Paralyzes on contact. I believe that is a 30% chance, where if a move makes contact, 30% chance to inflict paralysis. Honestly, really, really good ability. A lot of moves make contact, and like, man, paralysis is a really, really nasty status condition. So it's Rachel's big day out. She's got Thundershock, that's really the only move she needs. Same type attack bonus, it's electric. It's gonna hit most things for neutral damage, like this Weedle. String Shot, nice joke. So, Charlie is going to turn into a very fast special attacker, so what is Rachel going to turn into? Well, you're never going to believe this, but a very fast special attacker. Brilliant. Poison. Poison is the same as Burn, you just take damage, but you don't get your attack cut in half, and you also take damage from poison outside of combat. So I'm going to have to go back and heal after this fight, which is really, really interesting. What are they talking about? Right, so Rachel, when Rachel becomes a fully grown Rachel, she's going to have really, really good speed, but also, like, good attack and special attack. The attack and special attack is basically even on Rachel, when she evolves, that is. What I'm gonna do here, because Bugcatcher Rick is in fact sending out Caterpie, funniest thing I've ever seen. We're gonna switch over to Charlie. If you have a Pokemon in battle, even though Rachel didn't do any damage, Rachel will get experience for fighting this Caterpie, even though, again, didn't do anything, but it's fine. Ember should be an easy one-hit here, although I am Adamant nature, so... Okay, nailed it. Adamant's a rough nature, man. And Rachel grew to level 6. Let's look at those stats. Plus special attack, plus speed. Very good. And we learned Tail Whip. Tail Whip lowers defense. Charlie has Growl, lowers attack. Rachel also has Growl, which lowers attack. And I think I'm heading back to the Pokemon Center. Third time's the charm in Viridian Forest. We're back again. Rachel had a little too much fun the first time. She kind of passed out from some food poisoning. It's not a big deal. We're back. Bugcatcher Rick, the first trainer besides Blue, has been defeated. Should be another boy up here. So a lot of fights are just going to look like this every time I catch a new Pokemon. It's going to be me sending out the new Pokemon, and then like switching out to one who can actually do something and taking it out that way. This thing's level 7. If Thundershock won't 2-hit it, I'll just switch out to Charlie and have him deal with it, I don't know. I guess I just mentioned Charlie's ability. All the starters have the same ability. Yeah, I'll switch out, I don't know. All the starters basically have the same ability, where Charlie has Blaze, so when his health drops below 1/3, which in this case would be 8 or lower, 8 or lower, his fire attacks are going to do, I believe, 50% more damage, which is, you know, pretty cool or whatever. I cannot believe that poisoned again. I think that's like 20%. But it shouldn't matter. Charlie should be able to sweep. A sweep, if you didn't know, is when one Pokemon is able to completely wipe out the enemy team. Very, very interesting. So, I don't know. I might switch back to Rachel. Listen, it's a very... I'm glad to be playing this game again. Again, I mean, the last time I played it was like 10 years ago. Because it's a fun game. It's enjoyable. It's very chill. I've talked about the whole ROM hack thing before. I think Pokemon gets like the worst in terms of ROM hacks. It's just like the first gym leader has 6 Pokemon with items and like comprehensive movesets, and it's just like this crazy thing. Akuna. I can kind of farm this guy with Rachel, because this thing should probably only know like Tackle and Harden. Let's save Charlie some health. Like, I don't know. The thing about Pokemon is when you increase the difficulty, you are in turn removing options, right? The thing I love about the early game Pokemon games is that, like, you can just do whatever you want, really. You can just pick whatever Pokemon you want. I can get away with like, Pikachu is not that good of a Pokemon, but I can get away with playing him because it's fun. I can get him early, he's got some electric-type moves, he's fun to use, and that's basically my entire motivation for catching Rachel, is that it was fun. I enjoyed it. But then it's like, when you have a ROM hack, it's like, oh, I have to catch a Chinchou with Volt Absorb to stand a chance against the next gym, and it's like, or you could just not play. You ever think about that? You ever just think about just having fun for once in your life? I'm not going back to the Pokemon Center again. I'm afraid Charlie is going to have to take some unnecessary damage. But actually not, because I found an antidote. Yeah, I'm not going back for a 3rd time. You're getting antidoted, son. It heals poison. I'm also going to use a potion, considering we have 4 of them, and we got them all for free. Lucky us. Skipping these animations. So what's going on? What's going on with you guys? Cool. Glad to hear that, or I'm sorry that happened. It's been a while since I used that one. Alternatively, you know what's been going on with me? I recently saw the Ray Fiennes, Anya Taylor-Joy, and Nicholas Hoult movie The Menu. I thought was super, super excellent. Okay, Caterpie shouldn't know poison sting, so he should be able to get off scot-free. The Menu, just like fantastic. I enjoyed it so much. Static? No. I enjoyed it a lot. It was really... It's a horror comedy, if you don't know. And it's... like, it really plays with the idea between, like, artist and critic, right? And, I mean, there's a certain character, and at risk of being the type of guy who completely misses the point of the movie, I did, in fact, feel a little bit of a connection with it because of YouTube, right? When I was a child, I watched all the Let's Players. I watched the Chugga Conroys, the Proton Johns, Nintendo Capri Sun, Luca Jin, Josh Jepson's Super Genius, Attacking Toucans, or Tyler, I think he's known as now. I watched them all. And I looked at them and I thought, yeah, I could do that. I could, all you do is play video games. I play video games, and be funny. I could learn how to be funny. And I mean, you know, people find my content enjoyable nowadays, but when I was like 14, I was like, oh, I could definitely do that. And let's just say there's a certain character in the menu who perhaps has the mindset of a 14-year-old and thinks a very similar thing of, oh, I'm knowledgeable about this, oh, I've seen this before, I can do it, I'm basically one of them. And it's like, no, you're not. You have no respect for the actual work that goes into it. Much like as a child, I didn't have respect for the work that goes into making a YouTube video. And I think there's a lot of adults nowadays who probably think, and this is just like a big source, dude, just trust me. I think there's a lot of adults nowadays who probably think similar things, even that I did when I was a child, which is they look at YouTube videos, they look at gaming videos, and they're like, well, gaming, I play games, I like games, and I know things about games, I could do this, I could play video games and talk over them, that sounds easy. And like, let me tell you, trying to watch the Pikmin 1 series back is pretty dreadful, because I don't know, well, I know it went wrong. It was my first time doing, like, commentary, and I was not, I had nothing to talk about. I didn't know what I was doing. I was like half being informative, half just talking about nothing. Dude, Pokemon evolved. Nice, thanks for the tip, bro. So it's like, basically what I'm trying to say here is you need to have respect for the craft, right? And I wouldn't necessarily call YouTube an art, but like, on the surface it just seems so easy. You talk in front of a camera and you play video games, like... But there's so much more to that a lot of people don't really realize. And the menu just really, it touched me in a way that something hasn't quite touched me in a while. I watch movies and I watch TV to kind of get away from the real world, but this one was like, it kept me in the real world, but it still had that element of fantasy that I really enjoyed, and I was like, wow, there's just something about this. There's also a scene near the end, which I won't talk about for the sake of spoilers, that is like, it is the most whimsical scene ever. It is beautiful. It is the score. I had to look up the score directly afterwards because I was like, this is genuinely fantastic. I need to know who composed this. But yeah, no, it was just fantastic. I loved the menu. Ray Fiennes is great. Anya Taylor-Joy, excellent actress. Although I will say one criticism I have, and this isn't a criticism of Anya Taylor-Joy, but one thing about Anya Taylor-Joy is that every time I see her name, I think of the candy bar Almond Joy. Like the nut almond, and my instant response is to think of her name as being Almond Taylor-Joy, which it's not, but that's how I think of her name, and it's a little... It doesn't matter, okay? Listen, Charlie's going off. We've just been catching... Yeah, I've been catching anything besides Rachel.